ఉంది కదా
రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది, మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేయండి. మీరు చెప్పండి.
Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about digestive system. So we know that food is a basic requirement for all living organisms. The food that we eat contains carbohydrates, which we call it as energy providers, proteins, which we call it as energy builders, and fats, which we call as energy storer. So these are actually carbohydrates, proteins and fats are in the form of a biomacromolecules, and whatever the food that we consume which contains biomacromolecules cannot be directly supplied to our body. So these biomacromolecules should be converted into simple forms, and these simple forms that we call it as the process of conversion of the biomacromolecules into simple forms is called as digestion. Process of conversion of complex food molecules, which we call it as biomacromolecules, into easily diffusible forms is called as digestion. And for the purpose of digestion we need a digestive system. And in case of human beings, if you go for the digestive system will start with mouth to anus. So it starts with mouth to anus, which is either mesodermal and ectodermal in origin. Mesodermal and ectodermal in origin. Now, if you take the length of the digestive system will consist of alimentary canal and associated glands. Alimentary canal will consist of mouth to anus and it measures about 8 to 10 meters long. So first let us go for mouth. So if you go for the mouth, it is a small opening which is guarded by, it is a small opening which is actually guarded by upper lip and lower lip, which we call it as labia. Combinedly we call upper lip and lower lip as labia. And mouth opens into vestibule. Mouth opens into vestibule. And this vestibule has got teeth. It consists of teeth, tongue, teeth and tongue. So if you go for the mouth, it consists of a small gap that is present in between the lips and gum of the teeth is called as a vestibule, which bears teeth and gum. If you go for regarding the teeth in case of human being, it is ectomesodermal in origin. Ectomesodermal in origin. And in case of a human being, the type of dentition that we see here are thecodont, diphyodont and heterodont. If you go for the first, that is thecodont, thecodont means if teeth are embedded within the socket of jawbone. If a teeth is completely fixed in socket of jawbone. We call it as thecodont. Diphyodont means if teeth appear twice in lifetime. If teeth appear twice in lifetime. If teeth appear twice in lifetime, then we call it as a the diphyodont. So, diphyodont means lifetime lo 2 times teeth appear avutunnayani chadukuntam. So what are they? Which we call it as milk teeth, which is also called as temporary teeth, are deciduous teeth. And second is permanent or adult teeth. Permanent or adult teeth. Diphyodont means if teeth appear twice in lifetime, then we call it as a diphyodont. That is milk teeth, which is also called as temporary teeth or deciduous teeth. And second is permanent teeth or adult teeth. First, let us go for milk teeth. The number of milk teeth are only 20, and the dental formula can be represented incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So if you take the dental formula, we can calculate by taking the teeth that are present in upper half of the jaw and lower half of the jaw. So if you take here 2102 by 2102. So incisors in upper half of the jaw are 2 and incisors in the lower half of the jaw are 2. Canines in upper half of the jaw are 1 and in lower half of the jaw is 1. Premolars in both upper jaw and lower jaw, in case of milk teeth, they are totally absent. Then coming to molars, in upper jaw and lower jaw, 2 molars are present. So if you calculate 5 by 5, that is equal to 5, that is 10, 10 into 2, 20. So milk teeth are 20. And here premolars, and if you go for the dental formula for adults, incisors, canines, premolars and molars, if we take 2, 1, 2, 3 by 2, 1, 2, 3. That is totally 16 into 2, that is equal to 32. So in adults, 32 teeth are present. Now let us go for structure of mammalian tooth. before going for structure, let us go for what is a heterodont dentition first. If you go for heterodont, 4 different types of teeth with different function. Different types of teeth with different function. That we call it as heterodont. In heterodont we find incisors, canines. Incisors is represented by capital I, canines are represented by capital C, premolars, that is represented by PM, and molars. Now if you take incisors, incisors are sharp and dagger shaped teeth. Incisors are sharp and dagger shape, and they are helpful for cutting. They are helpful for cutting. And these teeth are actually well developed in case of Lagomorpha and Rodentia. Lagomorpha is an order of rabbit, and Rodentia, it is an order for rats. Then coming to canines. Canines are pointed and sharp, and they are helpful for tearing. They are helpful for tearing the foot. Premolars and molars, they are actually helpful in crushing and shearing of food. And both we call them commonly as cheek teeth. Now coming to, if they ask the question, which of the following teeth are monophyodont? Monophyodont means teeth appears only single type throughout in lifetime. Monophyodont. If teeth appear only once in lifetime, then we call it as monophyodont. So among the human beings, the monophyodont teeth are premolars and last molar, because they appear only once in lifetime. Then coming to, we call last molar as a wisdom teeth. Last molar is considered as wisdom teeth. Now, let us go for structure of mammalian tooth.
ఇలా తిరుగుతూ ఉండాలి. సైడ్కి ఫేస్ కనపడట్లేదు. ఇట్లా కాలుతూ
So if you go for the structure, teeth will consist of 3 parts. The exposed part of the teeth is called as a crown, and the part that is just fixed in gums is called as a neck, and the part that is completely embedded within socket is called as root. The part that is exposed part of the tooth is called as a crown, and the part that is embedded within the socket just a little attached to the socket is called as a neck, and the part that is completely fixed in socket of jawbone is called as a root. And if you take a structure, it consists of a pulp cavity. It consists of a pulp cavity which is completely filled with pulp, and it consists of root canal. At the base it consists of a root canal through which nerves and blood vessels passes through it. The entire part of the tooth is covered by means of a hard particle called as dentine. And this dentine, actually it is secreted by odontoblast cells. Odontoblast cells of mesodermal in origin, and in turn dentine is covered by a hard substance called as enamel. It consists of enamel. Enamel is considered as the hardest substance of the human body, and this enamel, it is secreted by ameloblast cells of ectodermal in origin. Now here, incisors, canines, premolars and molars we read. Incisors and canines have one root, but upper premolars has 3 roots, whereas lower premolars has 2 roots. Likewise, upper molar has 2 roots, whereas lower molar has only one single root. Now, the entire tooth is covered by means of periodontal membrane, so this is about the structure of tooth. If you go for the structure of tooth, it consists of 3 parts. Crown, which is an exposed part of the tooth. Neck, which the part that is actually just embedded within socket. And the part completely fixed in socket is called as a root. Entire tooth is covered by means of dentine, which is actually considered as the hardest substance. And this dentine is secreted by odontoblast cells, which are mesodermal in origin. And in turn, dentine is covered by enamel. And what is the use of again covering of dentine with enamel means it protects the teeth from wearing and tearing. Okay, and this enamel is secreted by ameloblast cells of ectodermal in origin. And if you take a structure of a tooth, it consists of a pulp cavity which is completely filled with pulp, and the base of the Tooth will consist of a small openings through which the nerves and blood vessels will pass us through. And if you take the number of roots actually in case of incisors and canines are 1, and in case of upper premolars 3 roots, whereas lower premolar has only 2 roots. Upper molar has 2 roots, whereas lower molar has only 1 single root. And in case of sloths and armadillos, enamel is absent. So, if you go for again, incisors in case of rabbit are persistent. Persistent incisors can be seen only in case of rabbit because of wide pulp cavity. But whereas in human beings, incisors are not persistent because the pulp cavity is very, very narrow. And next, tongue. Tongue is actually a muscular organ. It is a muscular organ which is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity. By frenulum. So it is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of a frenulum. Now, it is a type of skeletal muscle. Tongue is made up of skeletal muscle. Both extrinsic and intrinsic muscles are helpful in movement of the tongue. Now, tongue actually consists of small taste buds. On the tongue we find small taste buds or papillae, we call it as. So in case of human beings, we find 4 types of papillae. Valate papillae, fungiform, filiform, foliate papillae. Generally, in early childhood, foliate papillae will get degenerated. And let us go for the location of the fungiform, filiform and valate papillae. Valate papillae are present at the base of the tongue. They are present at the base of the tongue. Then, fungiform papillae are present at the tip of the tongue. Filiform papillae are present towards the anterior and towards the lateral sides of the tongue, that is on the upper surface of the tongue. And regarding foliate, which will get degenerated in early childhood, they are located at the base of the tongue. Lateral sides towards the So these papillae will get degenerated towards the base of the tongue. So how many papillae are present means we will consider only 3 first. Valate papillae, fungiform papillae, filiform papillae, because we cannot consider foliate papillae will be degenerated at the early childhood. Then how could we recognize what is the important function of the tongue? We considered tongue as a universal toothbrush. We consider tongue as universal toothbrush. Why we consider tongue as a universal toothbrush? Because it helps in speaking, deglution, that we call it as deglutition, that is which we call it as swallowing, then cleaning the teeth. As the three functions, speaking, deglution, that is swallowing, and cleaning of teeth is helpful, is done with the help of tongue, we call it as a universal toothbrush. The next question will arise, how could we recognize the taste? The taste is recognized by the taste buds. Okay, and these taste buds, they are located on the tongue. So, if you take a diagram which actually recognizes the different tastes of the food, at the tip of the tongue, sweet. At the tip of the tongue, the taste buds which recognize the sweetness will be present, and just towards the anterior and just above, again towards the sides of the anterior end, the taste of salt is recognized, and sour towards the posterior end towards the base, and bitter completely towards the base of the tongue. And now a question will arise, how could we recognize the taste of chili powder? Generally, chili powder and the taste of chili powder is not recognized by the taste bud, but it is only due to the burning sensation of nerves that are present on the tongue. Burning sensation that is present on the, that is nerves that are present on the tongue. With the burning sensation only, we could recognize the taste of chili powder. Then, in case of dog, tongue used to recognize temperature itself. Only in case of dog, tongue will help in recognizing the temperature. So we have seen about the tongue here. Tongue is a muscular organ which is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of frenulum, and it consists of number of taste buds, namely circumvallate, that is valate papillae, fungiform papillae, filiform papillae, and foliate papillae. Circumvallate papillae will be present towards the base of the tongue. Fungiform papillae will be present towards the anterior tip of the tongue. Filiform papillae are present at the upper surfaces of the tongue. And coming to the foliate papillae, which will be degenerated in the early childhood, they will be located towards the lateral sides of the base of the tongue. And next question will arise, how could we recognize the taste? Taste of the different types of food could be recognized only by the taste foods, which we call it as papillae, small taste buds or papillae, which are present on the tongue. Then if you go for the sweet, we could recognize the sweetness which is present towards the tip of the tongue here. Then just above the anterior, towards the anterior part, just above the tip of the tongue towards the lateral sides, we could recognize the saltness. Then on the upper surface of the tongue, we could recognize the sour and bitter towards the base of the tongue. And then the taste of the chili powder is actually known with the burning sensation of the nerves that are present on the tongue. And in case of dog, temperature, the tongue is actually helpful in detecting the temperature. And in case of human beings, we consider tongue as a universal toothbrush. Why? Because it is helpful for speaking, deglutition, that is swallowing, and cleaning of the teeth. Because of that only we call it as a universal toothbrush. Thank you very much.